Hello YouTube, today I am coming at you with a Jazwares Pokemon Select Charizard figure review. I picked this guy up today, he was about 20 bucks at Walmart, and I'm pretty happy with him so far. So let's start off with his packaging. He came in this big beefy box that is really thick and wide. That's the tray he came in. Charizard in a couple of languages, articulated in a couple of languages. The side features a render of Charizard with Pikachu beside the Pokemon logo. Then the back, advertising Charizard, Rayquaza, Articuno, and Greninja, with some legal mumbo-jumbo down there. And then the opposite side is just a clear window on the side of it. Pretty simple package, but nice. Then some legal stuff down here, and that's about it. Now, let's start off with his only accessory, which is a little stand that you can have him flying over. So this long peg plugs into his grundle down here, his taint, and he can basically look like he's flying if you pose him correctly. I'm not gonna, well, yeah, actually, yeah. It looks a little ridiculous in this pose I have right now, but it's more for flying poses than anything. So, you know, that stand does work and holds its position pretty well. As you can see, I have the whole weight of the figure on here. Nothing's really going wrong. So, you know, I'm just going to pop him off of there. And, oh right, the stand does peg into the base separately. So you just peg it down there. And it has two, no, just one. Okay, there's a ratchet joint up here. Oh, that bottom one is also a ratchet. It's very tight, though. Okay. Now, let's get on to Charizard himself. One of the coolest Pokemon ever. So, paint and sculpt is pretty simple, pretty good. Honestly, on my copy at least. He looks really good. The eyes are well done. His tongue, his teeth, his claws. All that's pretty good looking. Mine does have a couple of splotches of paint here on the inside of his wing. And, that's about it as far as I can tell. Yeah, there's no other paint issues at all on him that I can see. But the sculpt and paint is really good. He looks just like a cartoon character, which is what he is. But, visually he's nice looking. I dig it. The orange is really vibrant, the tan yellow belly and underside of his tail is good. The back is nice. The aesthetic is good, the tail flame is done well. I dig it. The sculpt is good, the paint is good. Not half bad for a cheap figure. But, you know, he looks fine. He visually looks pretty good. There's a slight dent right here in the belly. I can't tell if you can see that. It's like barely there, but there's a tiny dent in the belly. But whatever. So, sculpt and paint, he looks good. Let's move on to articulation now. So, his jaw can open and close. Can open that wide and closes all the way. His head can look straight up. No down at the ball joint at the top of his head, but if you bend his neck down further, the whole neck can go down that far. And then back that far. The head can rotate, the base of the neck and the head can rotate individually. His arms are both the exact same, so I'm going to go over one of them. The shoulder joint can go out that far. He has a bicep rotation. Double jointed elbow. And the wrist can rotate. His legs are very simple, but, you know, they're good because at least he can stand well. The thighs can kick out that far, and no back at all, so just forward kick, really. The thigh can go spread out a little bit, not a ton, so he doesn't really have the splits. The knee can go back that far and that far forward, so not a lot. The ankle can rock a little bit. The foot cannot rotate. He can kick his foot up about that far, and then that far back, I think. Okay, that's as far back as the foot itself goes at the ankle, and then that far forward, so not terrible. For, you know, given his character design, that's not horrible. Charizard's pretty chunky and stocky. The wings, they can flap forward that far, so basically flat down, and straight out. The wings have a hinge joint in the middle of them. Oh, there's another paint problem, that blue on the arm of his wing. Okay, that's an easy fix. But the wings look good, they're articulated decently well for what they are, and I don't mind them, honestly. And his tail can bend that far up, that far down. You would think the tail would have a swivel, which it does, a very slight, barely a wiggle, but it has one. The second segment and third segment, though, can rotate quite well. And it's just a series of hinge joints. So, you know, hinge, 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 all throughout the tail. The fire on his tail cannot be removed or rotate, but it is a relatively soft plastic. So, all in all, he's not too bad. I dig him. He's a good addition to the Smash Brothers collection I'm trying to build up. A very small one of only a few characters, but he's a good addition, I think, to a slight Smash collection I'm trying to make. But, you know, he's pretty good. For what he is, a cheaper Pokemon figure, I give him maybe an 8 out of 10 in terms of articulation. Basically, no accessories is annoying, but whatever. This is Jax. They really don't do accessories very much. But this Charizard's pretty cool. I like him. He's maybe a 7 or 8 out of 10 for just him himself. I'm being pretty generous with that, but I do really like this figure. Anyways, peace out, fellas. I hope y'all have a good one.